Hi guys, it's David Seaman, and you're watching Fight Fan TV Network.
It's Dan Blake here with Fight Fan TV Network, and I'm here with the legendary David Seaman. Dan Blake here. We're on the red carpet, the journey, life of a professional footballer, the documentary. How you feeling, David? Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I've never been a boxer, but I did all right as a goalie.
So, as you say, you've never been a boxer, but what do you think footballers can learn from the art of boxing?
Just the competitiveness, and then what it takes to become a boxer. All the training that you have to go through, dedication, the passion. That's all in football as well. It's the side that people don't see. All that training. I think more people see the training side of boxing than what they do of footballers training. Because whenever everybody thinks about football, they just think about how much money they're getting, the houses, the cars, and all that. Whereas with the boxers, you see a lot more of the dedication that's required for that sport.
And what would you say, what does the sporting mindset mean to you nowadays? Like, when you're training youngsters, you're a professional footballer for many years, but in 2026, what's the sporting mindset for you, the definition right
is
now?
is don't just talk a good game, make sure you can do it. Because that's what I find at the moment is a lot of people can talk a good game, or a good fight, but they don't actually produce. It's about all those hours of training and dedication, being away from your family. That all comes into it, and you need all that to be as good as what you can get to.
And what do you think people could take away from a film like this today?
Sorry.
What do you think people could take away from a premiere like this today, a documentary like this?
Um, Hopefully they take some positiveness from it. Obviously I've not seen it yet, so
Yeah, sure.
it'll be interesting to see. But it's the life of a like a professional footballer, and then what happens afterwards. Because I was ready. I was lucky. I retired at 40, and I've not missed it one bit since I retired. So I'm very fortunate. There's other people that really struggle, but at some stage, as a footballer and as a boxer, it's going to come to an end, and then you've got quite a lot of the rest of your life to live. So like plan for it before if you can, and then hopefully financially you make enough out of football or out of boxing that you're going to be okay. But if not, then plan for that as well. It's about having things to do in the future. Don't just retire and then sit at home because nothing will happen. You'll only get depressed.
How important would you say, mental health is a big thing at the moment, So what do you do to protect your mental health,
So I,
2026?
yeah, mental health is massive. It's massive for everyone. And it's about looking after yourself. What I do, I keep myself busy. I love my fishing. I love my golf. We still ice skate. Me and my wife Frankie, we ice skate a little bit. Yeah, we just have a good time. It's about having lots to do and occupying your mind. So yeah, that's the main thing is occupy your mind with things that you want to do. Try different things. You know, I did dancing on ice not long after I retired, and I swear to you, it was the most nervous I have ever felt in my life. I've had penalty shootouts in World Cups and everything. Trust me, give me that all day long over dancing on ice. Most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done.
And what's your thought? Wrapping up the last few. What's your thoughts on Arsenal's Premier League win? How are you feeling about all of that?
I'm so relieved that we won the Premier League because now the three times that we came second is a positive, whereas before we won it, everybody wanted to turn it into a negative, and we've been up there and close, and now we've done it, and now it's time to kick on and win more trophies. And that's what we used to do, and that's what was expected of us. We had to win trophies, and it weren't always the Premier League. Sometimes it'd be a cup, or it'd be a European Cup, whatever it is. Go on and start winning more.
In the heyday of like the Arsenal Man United wars, I would say,
Yeah,
what was your mentality when you were coming through the dugout and you got Schmeichel on the other side? You're there,
yeah.
you're all eyeing each other up in the tunnel. When you got through that tunnel, what were you feeling like? What was that feeling for you?
You wanted to beat them, and it's like when you come up against, like in boxing, if you come up against somebody that's as good as you or level as you, you want to beat them. You want to beat them badly, and that's exactly what we were feeling in the tunnel. And I know that's what they were feeling. They wanted to beat us, because at that time of the 90s, it was either us or Man United that won the league. So that's where all that competitiveness come from. Just wanted to be better than them.
Sure. And the last question, this one, in boxing right now, the big heavyweight fight, Anthony Joshua just got through, a scary moment. Fury got through his fight. It's the big fight everybody's looking out for.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, hopefully by the end of the year. What's your thoughts? Give us your analysis on that fight. What do you think happens?
Well, I'm not exactly a professor of boxing, so, but, I have watched their careers. Obviously everybody wishes it would have happened when they were in their heyday, but it's still going to be a massive fight, and nobody can still call who's going to win, because there's two totally different styles of boxing there. Yeah, AJ came through a scare, but then he reacted with positiveness and a good punch, and then, yeah, with Tyson, you just don't know what you're going to get, and we've all seen what he's capable of. We've seen him get up off the floor and everybody thought he was knocked out cold.
Yeah,
So I'm still looking forward to it, and I'm sure that the British public are. But if I had to choose, I'd probably go with AJ just because I'm friends with Barry Hearn. So otherwise, he'd never speak to me again.
Yeah, sure. Shouts to that true. So it's been Dan Blake here for Fight Fan TV Network. We really pleasure joining us, David Seaman. We really thank you so much.
Cheers.
This video is powered and sponsored by Treasure Boxing Club.